Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Writing Sprints with your hosts, Abby Matthews and myself, Doug Lansborough. It
Hey,
is Wednesday,
everybody.
February 26th. We are on deck for the normal 20-minute sprints today with 5-minute sprints in between. I guess I can share the link to the first one. However, you should find them below our faces in the description right at the top for all 3 sprints. But just in case you are here early, there it is. So,
Hey,
Abby, how you
everybody.
doing today?
I'm doing great. I am
Good.
here. I am trying to stay hydrated. And beyond that, anybody's guess. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm still like I was saying, I'm recovering from yesterday's premium workshop. It was a good time. Always takes a it's like a come down afterwards when I set up these expectations in my mind. We have a great time, and then it's like, oh, okay, now what? Now on to the next.
Yeah, I was teasing you pretty hardcore yesterday when I was like, "What do you mean you're still
Yeah.
working on your material?" I was like, "Mine is done for Friday when I teach my workshop." But then I realized I was bragging, but also I signed up for an agent who's teaching the same workshop that I'm teaching on Friday. She's teaching it tonight. So I signed up for it to see if she had anything extra in her presentation that I could steal and put in ours. So I might have a total Hail Mary tomorrow where I'm like, I'm going to revamp everything.
That's it. Yesterday morning, I was getting ready to start work, and I'm like, wait a second, I want to add this to the workshop. And then, sure enough, I do that all morning. And then, there's some errors on the slides. There's a little mishap, but that's inevitable. I want to say hello to B and Aaron and David and NJ and Ashley and Iva. And who else do we have in here? Sarah's in here. And Jess Writes a Book is in here as well. And Shelly and Emily. Hello, hello, hello.
And Athena.
And Athena. Hello. Awesome. How long do we have? 2 minutes until we get started here. Feel free to let us know in the chat what you are working on today. I want to highlight something that NJ said. I have an idea to bounce off you guys, assuming referring to the chat because our faces weren't here yet, but this is us bouncing it now. I was thinking of giving my fanfics as a bonus thing in my eventual newsletter. Since I probably can't publish them, I figure giving them away would work. And I think, why not? As long as those fanfics are polished to the same degree you would polish any work you're giving out, and relevant to your genre, right? Which I assume they are, but if you're writing sci-fi and say it's a historical fiction fanfic for whatever reason you chose to write that one, that wouldn't work with the email list. But otherwise, I think
Yeah,
that's a great
because
idea.
she says I probably can't publish them because you can't sell them, right? Because they're
Yeah.
technically the characters are licensed to somebody else. Thus, fan fiction is like a
Yep.
great thing to give away. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if it was like Winnie the Pooh fan fiction, you can do that because those
It's
those
out
rights
of
can be released.
copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the very first novel that I wrote was, in a way, fan fiction for children's literature and I went down this rabbit hole of researching what was in public domain, what was not in public domain, was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in or not in public domain, which book was it in, because some of his were, some of his weren't. Like, it was this whole thing. And I mean, it's like super nerdy fun to research that stuff, though, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So,
Athena pointing out there might be a copyright thing if you make money off that newsletter
yep.
eventually, and
Oh,
yeah, so be careful, like, because no, you're not monetizing your newsletter, but you are using it as a promotional tool. So I don't know. I don't know the legality around it. So do your research first.
101 years thanks to Walt Disney.
So you can. So our stuff will be in the public domain long after we're gone.
That's right.
All right, we're starting. 5 seconds. I'm not even
Oh,
sharing my screen.
oh.
What are we doing? We got too caught up in the conversation. Here we go. We'll see everyone in 19 minutes and 55 seconds. All righty. That's our first sprint done. Just bop into my music over here.
I can see you're like 62 words away from your 1,000 words in 20 minutes. Oh,
9:38. And
you're
honestly, when I started, I'm like, oh, I'm sleepy. I'm not feeling it. I think I'm gonna hit low, and then I just fell into the
nice.
groove.
Nice.
Let's
How are we doing
see.
over here? Shelly, 563. Athena, 561. Ooh, you guys were close, like neck and neck.
Yeah, yeah. And Aaron got a page edited 75. B got 648. Sarah 141. Ashley 591. Having to leave starting an art class tonight. Have a lot of fun. That's very cool.
Ooh, what kind of art class? That's what I want to know. 'Cause it's my jam.
Susan revised 2 pages. Jane saying, well done all, something I echo. Emily 368, David 321. Jane's been plotting. Jess is at work, so working on some reports, but still wanted to hang out, and we appreciate you hanging out with us nonetheless. If we scroll up here, I think Susan joined us for the first writing sprint of the day for Susan.
2 pages revised, she said.
Excellent.
Yay.
Oh yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, no, that went well. That went well. How'd it go for you?
Good. I'm secretly working on the short story thing for Hank. I keep changing my mind like a million times because like I keep saying I've never done this before where usually like my next story idea sits and sort of marinates in my head for weeks if not months before I finish up what I'm working on and then I sort of shift over and by then it feels like it's kind of real and I've kind of worked out some of the things and now I'm just like well I could do this or I could do that or I could do this or I could like I have so many directions I could take it in and I keep but I keep coming back to this like middle grade horror thing, Doug. I mean, I really like have you in my head as I'm like, but I never read horror. I never liked horror. Why would you want to do horror? But like every agent is asking for it. And I'm like, maybe this is the perfect time for me to just try it.
Maybe you're a horror. I mean, if the story is calling to you, who are you to say no?
So I kind of had this whole like Gremlins idea. It was kind of like a cross between like Cornelia Funk's Inkheart and like the Gremlins was sort
Okay.
of this like set of comps that I had. So I don't know. I'm kicking it around, man. I'm kicking it around. So
Excellent. Well, I'm excited. Now we have 2 minutes until the next one. Do you want to shamelessly plug what's happening on Friday?
I feel like that's all I've been doing all week is shamelessly plugging my thing. Everyone come to my thing. I am going to do an agent deep dive. And by agent deep dive, like I'm going to show you how we really dig around to try and find as much as we can about these agents because you hate to pitch someone who doesn't take your thing. And when they get 40 or 50 or 100 queries a day, I feel like it's sort of irresponsible to pitch someone who doesn't take your thing because what you're doing is clogging up the works for everybody else. So anyway, it's a numbers game. You want to put your book in front of the right people. Like, how do you figure out what those people are? And so we're going to go through a whole bunch of strategies, whole bunch of places to find agents. And like, how do you put together these clues to figure out what it is that they're actually looking for? So,
Excellent. I'm
it's
excited.
interesting.
That's like a side of this industry, this job that like I know very little about, right? And that's been by design. Don't get me wrong, but I'm
Well,
also fascinated to know.
and it was by design that I know so much about it
Yeah,
was because I knew what I wanted to write from the beginning. I knew that was more of a traditionally
middle
published
grade
thing. And
horror.
so middle grade horror. But I've been sort of groomed all along that if this is the path you take, like these are the steps you do, this is how you figure it out. And so I'm excited to be able to share that with everybody. So
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to it. All right, here we go. We're starting the next sprint. 5 seconds till we go. We'll see everybody in 20 minutes. Happy writing.
bye.
Alrighty, and that is our second sprint done. I was
How'd
really
you
driving into
do?
the last ones. 928.
Oh, you're getting so close,
I
man.
know. And I feel like the third one's not going to be the one, though. I feel like that's where I'm hitting like 750, 800. So, so maybe tomorrow we'll see.
I like have faith that before
Thank you.
the end of before the end of this book that you're working on, you're gonna hit it at least twice.
Oh,
That's my
twice.
I feel like I'm taking bets. You're gonna hit it at least twice. So
Excellent. I'm sharing the third or the link to the third sprint there. But B got 743, where Shelly 497, Emily just shy of 750. NJ went down a research rabbit hole. Sarah got 330. Iva 548. Athena 549. Slowing down, but oh well, it happens. That's the nature of doing all this work, because it's work, right? We really like doing this, but writing is hard work, and writing for extended periods of time, very difficult. So I'm proud of everyone for sticking to it. We had David with 263, Electrical with 408, Jane got 65, and B is back. How was the last 20 minutes for you, Abby?
oh, good. I'm taking that MG horror, all the
Mm-hmm.
notes and everything I had, I'm copying and pasting them over into a Dabble plot grid. I
Oh.
actually am quite proud of myself. I watched how Robert used the plot grid to show Pride and Prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to like mimic that a little. So
Excellent.
that's what I did. It was mostly copying and pasting. So I feel like you guys didn't see my hands do this. You just saw my hands do this. So
Jane saying, I'm really struggling here, so that 65 words is huge for me. And I absolutely love that, because especially when it comes to writing, when you're not doing something for, you know, like a job per se, when you're doing it because it's a passion or an art or whatever, when you're really struggling, it's a lot easier to do 0 words than it is to do 65
yeah.
words. So Jane, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Athena's been writing all day and is at 4,000
Woo!
words for the day. That's awesome. Awesome. I love those days. Maybe I should have a whole day writing session soon. Maybe we should do a whole day
A whole
sprint
day
session.
sprint. Didn't we talk
Yeah,
about that? Doing
we
that like
did.
once
We
a
should
month?
make that happen. Let's harass Robert about that later today when we're done here.
Nice.
And David's in the final phase of his romance challenge story. Excellent. I'm glad
Cool.
that's going so well for you.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, what do we have coming up in the world of Dabble? So we have your agent deep dive on Friday, but
Hmm. Yep.
tomorrow at 2 p.m. we have something as well.
It's also me. Actually, tomorrow at 2 p.m., Hank asked, he's been super interested in the co-writing thing. And you and I both did it very, very differently. So he asked me to go on the podcast and talk about co-writing. And I said I would do it as long as my co-author, Jeffrey, came with me. So I had to really twist his arm to get him to come. He's a super introvert. He and I are like, how two people can be so the same and so different at the same time is beyond me. But yeah, so he's gonna come and he's gonna join us from his office at work, and we're gonna talk about co-writing. So
excellent. I don't know why. I don't have data to back this up, but I feel like co-authoring or co-writing is going to become much more popular in the future. And I truly don't have anything other than a gut feeling to back that up. But I think that the combination of ideas leads to really unique and creative things.
yeah.
So
Well, and I'm going to put this out there too. So Jeff and I also gave ourselves the end of May to be done with this particular book that we're working on. And so I put it in the Dabble, goals planner for your project. And we only need like 658 words a day in order to hit it by the end of May. That's between 2 people. So I only have to write 350 words. I mean, essentially, I did rough math. That math probably isn't mathing, but I mean, that's not a lot of words, people. So if you're splitting up a book between 2 people, so yeah, Jane, it's the podcast. Hank's podcast. So, all right, everybody. Good luck.
here we go. See y'all in 20 minutes. All righty. That is our third and final sprint done.
Yay. How'd you do? What was your 7
Nine,
something?
9:03.
You really
Yeah.
killed it, man.
Yeah, it's going well so far. I don't know. I always find, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, the first part of the book is so much easier to write than the
Mhm.
second part. Even though like the second part is where like everything comes together and like there's all the payoffs and whatnot, right? But I don't know. It's just feeling good. It's feeling
Good.
good. Yeah. How'd that go for you?
Good. I ended up with everything into Dabble. So I
Excellent.
guess technically I've maybe done week one's assignment because I don't like to be behind. I was a procrastinator as a child. I am not anymore. So I'm happy.
Athena got 494, Emily 470, B got 648. This go for a total of 2,039 total. David got 200, Sarah got 165. Iva got negative 469 by deleting some part.
Yeah.
Very important part of the writing process. Jane got 320. And Sarah saying that you've had a poor week so far. So thanks so much, everyone, for
Oh.
helping you get back on track. Thank you for joining us.
Uh,
Honestly, we wouldn't get to do this. We wouldn't get to have everyone here to support one another if it wasn't for people showing up. So we really appreciate everyone coming by, joining us for some writing sprints and getting your books written or edited, if that's the stage that you're at.
or outlined.
Or outlined. Yeah, whatever writing based productivity task you want to get done, we're glad that you're doing it with us. If you want some more Abby this week, 2 p.m. tomorrow, she's talking about co-authoring. Noon
So
on
much
Friday,
Abby.
and Agent is noon on Friday, right? Agent Deep
Noon.
Dive is
Yeah.
noon. Those are all Eastern time, so adjust accordingly. And we have writing sprints tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, same time as today. Another trio of 20-minute sprints.
Don't forget to paste your words.
Yes, yeah. Oh, thank you. Don't forget to copy and paste your words from the sprint sessions if you joined us at wordsprints.org. They'll save for 24 hours on your device and then they will be gone. So get them over in Dabble or whatever platform you use. Anything to add before we sign off, Abby?
No, I feel like you guys are going to hear me talk enough this week. Nobody needs to hear me say anything else.
Sarah, that's okay that you can't make it tomorrow. Everything will be recorded as well. I mean, the sprints will be recorded if you want some productivity help, but the other sessions will be recorded as well, so you can check them out after. But thank you all for joining us. Abby, thanks for joining me for the sprints, and we'll see
Anytime.
everyone tomorrow.
Bye.